Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hello, my name is Claudia. It's very nice to meet you. I make lifestyle journaling and vlog content here on YouTube, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you all about how you can start and keep up practicing gratitude in your journal, as well as how I personally practice gratitude in my bullet journal. So this video will be divided into a few sections. Just make sure you check out the description box as well as the play bar to find what you want to watch. First, I will start off with talking about how I personally practice gratitude. I'll give you a specific template that I use, and then I will go into a few huge important tips that I use in order to make the most of my gratitude practice in my journal. Because practicing gratitude is a habit that you need to cultivate, and ultimately it can be a life-changing habit. Let's begin. How I gratitude journal. As I've mentioned before, I do gratitude journaling in my bullet journal. So you may have seen on social media some people designating a certain page to just gratitude journaling. Like they may write a list of things they're grateful for that month, or they might just do stream of consciousness where they just write what they're thankful for. I have done both of these methods, and as much as they are fun to do and they can be effective for some people, I didn't find that it really worked for me. What I found that worked for me was just incorporating a bit of gratitude into my daily log. So this is what my daily log looks like. First up, I have the day and the date set up at the top. Next, I have gratitude. This is where I write out in full sentences at least 3 things I am grateful for. These 3 things must be time-sensitive things, so they must have occurred, are occurring, or will occur within the next 24 hours. I set this rule for myself just because you don't want to go through the motion of just writing what you're grateful for. You actually want to really think about it and be mindful of what you're grateful for. I also write in full sentence rather than making a list because I find that writing in full sentence allows me to express wholeheartedly what I'm grateful for and why I'm grateful for it. And sometimes if I really want to bring up that gratitude, I just read it aloud and really express it because it's all about feeling it rather than just making a laundry list of what you're thankful for. After gratitude, I have my to-do list. And last but not least, at the end of the day, I have a little section called Wins of the Day. This is where I list out 3 things that went right, that went well, that I would consider a win of the day. So this is another form of practicing gratitude for me. It's a way for me to reflect on what happened that day, to take notice of anything, to jot down memories, and to focus on the good. I do this because it's so easy to focus and remember what didn't go well, what didn't pan out as expected. The simple act of reflecting on the good moments in your daily life can help change your mindset from glass half empty to glass half full. I always saw, picked apart, and analyzed the bad in situations, the bad in people, the bad in things. But from just changing how I see things by being grateful, I know I've come a long way in not letting like a bad interaction, a bad moment, a bad event or situation define my entire day as bad. Frankly, this is something I'm still working on. I've only been intently practicing gratitude for like the past 4 to 5 years maybe. But I mean, expressing gratitude is called a practice for a reason. I do this in my daily log because I want to make sure that practicing gratitude stays a part of my daily routine. Things usually don't change overnight, so you need to keep at it habitually. So I think that personally, it's best to do a little bit every day rather than like a lot every now and then. But that's just me, so find what works for you. And now we are on to my tips for gratitude journaling. Tip number 1, be specific. Go for depth over breadth. Don't just go through the motions of writing a grocery list of what you're grateful for. Like, don't just look around your room and be like, okay, I am grateful for that pen, that poster, that lip balm. I mean, I'm sure you are grateful to have these items, but nothing beats digging deep and being specific of what you're truly grateful for and expressing it. How can you be specific, especially if you practice gratitude daily? Well, write about time-sensitive things. Like today, I am filming this YouTube video, so I am very grateful to have the time and the peace and quiet and the equipment to do so. Another way for you to dig deep into specificity is to write out your why. So why are you grateful for what you're grateful for? You can also write about relationships. So instead of writing about the things you're grateful for, it could be really meaningful and helpful for you to reflect and jot down reasons why you're grateful to have the relationships that you have in your life. Last but not least, you can reflect on write about experiences. So you can write about specific conversations, interactions, surprises, moments, because in reflecting on these moments, you can savor the goodness in them. And it'll be nice to look back on later in life where you go, oh, so on that day, I had this conversation with this person, rather than seeing like the same 3 items that you're grateful for all the time. Tip number 2, start small and build this into a habit. So just to share a bit again, I started consciously practicing gratitude every day for a few years, like I said earlier. And the reason why I started doing this was because I wanted to change the outlook on my life. Up until a few years ago, I often identified myself with my anxiety, my thoughts, my waves of deep sadness. I let them define how I should go about my day, how I view myself, how I view others, and how I ultimately should live my life. But when I started practicing gratitude, along with many other habits I also cultivated, I started to see that my mindset was changing. There's this Wayne Dyer quote that I love, and it goes, if you change the way you look at things, the way you look at things change. And I think it's pretty true. Once the habit of expressing gratitude and being aware for the goodness in my life started to really sink into my bones, the way I saw myself, the way I saw others, and the way I saw my life situation changed for the better. Don't get me wrong, I still have bad days, depressive episodes, anxiety attacks, I still get analysis paralysis, but now I am confident that I can weather any storm, as long as I remind myself that there is a ton to be thankful for. So going back to the tip for this video, your outlook on life won't change overnight by just practicing gratitude once. I mean, it's okay to every now and then maybe write stream of consciousness, like a couple of pages of what you're grateful for. I've definitely written like basically an essay of what I'm thankful for sometimes just because I want to express it. But I think practicing it in small increments habitually, consistently is ultimately what's gonna have you change your life for the better. Start by writing 3 things you're grateful for and keep them time sensitive, keep them specific. Maybe just write a thing, a person, an experience maybe. You don't even have to keep it at 3. You could write more. You don't have to be strict on yourself, but keep up the habit. It will make a difference. Tip number 3, it matters less how much you write, but more what you experience and feel. This tip ties into tip number 1. So it's not a contest on how much can you write about how much you're grateful for. The 3 ways that you can deeply express this is by writing in full sentence, answering your why, and reading it aloud. Really, reading it aloud can actually do wonders because you're no longer just keeping it in your head. You're affirming it aloud. And if you want, you can really express it. And I do this on days where I really want to feel that extra bit of gratitude. I find myself doing this when I'm like in nature and I'm just overwhelmed by gratitude with what I'm experiencing and seeing and feeling, that I just want to express it a bit more. Or maybe that's just the actor in me. I don't know. But it really just boosts your mood. It does. Tip number 4, give yourself space and time to do this practice. When you give yourself the ideal space and time to do this, it helps you feel more connected in your gratitude practice. If you're in a rush or you're distracted or you're somewhere where you can't really focus, you'll likely just go through the motions of writing what you're thankful for without really feeling the effects. So please know when and where you will not be interrupted. For me, it's at my desk in the morning, first thing in my morning routine, or it's me in nature when nobody else is around. And that's it. Those were my tips on how you can start and practice gratitude in your journal. I hope these have been helpful. Please let me know in the comments below what else you'd like to see from me. I'm happy to hear suggestions. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!